Okay, you know what? I will try to come up with a little puzzle game, and my things that I want to focus on is that it's grid based, so not hexa shapes, because I don't know how to code hexagrams or at least fields in hex, because all the tiles have 6 neighbors and not 8, and so on. So yeah, might be a little bit problematic, but you know what? Let's just try this. And for this, I get my drawing tablet and hope that it works here on stream. And yeah, we will see how this goes. Hex isn't too hard, I believe. And oh look, it's Fernofai. Hello there. Thank you so much for dropping by. So for those new here, I'm about to design a puzzle game. I've never designed a puzzle game with my own rules before. All I did, as I've mentioned just before, was do a Minesweeper game and really polish the crap out of it. So let's start here with, should we go to MS Paint for good old sake? MS Paint. There we go. Look at this. This is professional. But I like it. This is the good thing that I really like about Paint, is that it feels like it's so accessible, right? Frank says, weirdly enough, a hex grid is just a regular 2D grid. On the same square grid, you just have 2 more neighbors. Depends on how you count neighbors. I think it's the Van Braun, or was it the Van Neumann? I always mix up Van Braun and Van Neumann. Because the neighborhood with cells is depends on how you count, right? So if you got 1 cell there in the middle, yeah, this is not very nice, but yeah, just bear with me. Let's use blue. So if you got this cell here, you could count that either those are neighbors, or that all 8 of them are neighbors. With hex, you don't have 9 neighbors or 8 neighbors. You have essentially 6. Yeah, you have 6 neighbors, right? The problem that I'm having with hex is just that I've never really had to conceptualize how it works, how with neighbors, because the rows are spaced apart a little bit, or not spaced, offset a little bit. So with hex, it's a bit different. Is this a hexagon? Yes, it is. Can I just copy paste it? Of course not. The problem that I'm having here with hex is, apart from being able to draw the hexes, is that the rows are offset a little bit from each other, and that they have different neighbors. And especially the problem is when you want to have some kind of, let's say, a certain shape there, a certain influence. I don't know off the top of my head how I would implement this. And again, for some reason, I'm just more comfortable with working with square grids, because it's just so nice when you look into an array. But yeah, this is just me. I once found, oh my god, where was this? Was this an Envato tutorial or something? That was very nice, because it outlined all the different algorithms you need to implement when working with hex grids, down to pathfinding, down to drawing like disc shapes on a hex grid. And I just glossed over it, and I realized, oh, this is a bit too advanced for me. The basic stuff works, but the other stuff doesn't, and this scared me a little bit. So this is why I'm sticking to good old grids. I mean, after all, I'm called Pixel Prophecy and not Hexagon Prophecy, so I think I should stick to the roots. Will this be a bigger project, or like finish in stream, several streams, says Fairnofy? Frankly, I don't know yet. Maybe we could, probably it's not going to be one stream game, because I'm here for 3 more hours. So I don't quite know if I can finish it, but maybe can just toy around with the design, maybe can implement a very quick prototype somewhere in GameMaker or something, or maybe Unity even. Frankly, I'm not quite sure, but maybe it would be great if this could turn out into something that's a bit more interesting than just me yapping about how much I like pixels over hexagons. And Mr. Julius says a game maker hard. Yeah, with me it's I started with game maker, and I have certain issues with game maker. Mostly it's the different export formats. With Unity it's just so incredibly seamless. You say, yeah, I want to compile this for Linux, I want to compile this for Mac. You don't need to install anything apart from the export module, and it just works. Trademark. With Game Maker I looked at exporting for Linux and then gave up because it was just too much of a hassle, and it was even worse with Apple products. I think you needed to have an Apple connected via a port on the network, where on the Mac you would have running Xcode or something, and right now I don't have a Mac. So yeah, it starts there. And this is the only downside that personally that I have with Game Maker, because with anything 2D, I really like Game Maker, I really do, but what I like about Unity is, for one thing, 3D graphics look very great in Unity, and the entire UI canvas system I really like with Unity. But yeah, with Game Maker I'm just very fast with implementing what I want to do, but I can feel like I'm bumping my head sometimes on some of the concepts. Frank also said, I don't think a hex grid would be too hard to handle, really. I'm pretty sure you could work it out, look it up as you go along. Yeah, probably, but again, for now I'm more comfortable with squares. So first let me start visualize it, how it works with Minesweeper. What I like about Minesweeper. One thing, the constraints that I want to have is, one thing is squares or square-based. Can I say square-based or pixel-based tile grid? Let's say square tile grid. Beautiful D here. This is one of the constraints that I want to have, and number 2 is something with numbers. I like numbers. I hate math, but I like numbers. And the other thing is that you could play it like Minesweeper. You could endless play. I call it endless play. Because this is also something that I really enjoy about Minesweeper. So yeah. And Frank watches Pixel Prophecy invent Sudoku. Yeah, the thing is, no matter what I'll be coming up with, probably it has already been invented by someone and I'm just not aware of it. With Sudoku, I'm not a fan of Sudoku, but I can really appreciate why some people just, I think I lost my mom to puzzle games. At least it's puzzle games and not QAnon, thank God. But she never really, the only thing, she never was interested in any kind of computer games. She once played Solitaire, but then gave it up because she couldn't cheat on the computer. She tried Tetris once, because everyone did, but then she discovered Sudoku and has been out there in Sudoku land. And yeah, you know what, frankly, I really want to have something that could also work on paper. I mean, Minesweeper could also theoretically work on paper. And I want something that my mom maybe would enjoy to play. And Picoric90 is here. Are we inventing a new game? What is happening here, comrades? I'm trying to invent a new game. I'm trying to invent a puzzle game that has, it's played on a square tile grid. It has something with numbers, and ideally it should have some kind of endless play. And this is what I'm looking for. You know what? I make some more divisions here in my wonky grid here, that we can just try things out. Maybe I should have started in Photoshop here, because drawing things here on a new layer would probably be easier. But I like my slanted grid here. You know what? I will just make a screenshot now, and maybe we continue in Photoshop for just drawing over. Minesweeper in Windows 95/98 has numbers in its rules at core, says Pickrick. Exactly, yeah. I'm coming from Minesweeper, essentially, and I toyed around with the idea, with the concept of Minesweeper quite a bit. I mean, it would be really nice to have to come up with a fun twist to Minesweeper, because I think Minesweeper at its core is, at some point, what I don't like about it is at some point when there's a lot of mines hidden, that it comes down to road luck, essentially. So let's find the screenshot that I just took. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, this is not a good brush. Let's go, yeah, with hard, round, 5, and let me pick a nice dark orange. Yeah, this looks nice. Can everyone see this? Maybe I should make the brush a bit bigger. Let's make it 9 pixels. Yeah. Okay. So, wanna become famous? Look at this. Finally, I can use my Pixel Prophecy mod view and do something about this year. So let's ban, and wonderful, it works. And Gellisam is also here and says, twist Minesweeper, but you play the mines. Actually, I like this. I think I know where this is going, where it's, you don't want to avoid the mines, you want to maybe have to use as little clicks as possible to find the mines, because it's not mines, but it's treasure. We don't have any mods online, says Mr. Julius. No, my channel is just so super small that I do the modding myself. And Picklex says, by the way, have you played Seek Etiliv? Very cool in mechanics and pure and basic. I have no idea what this is. Let's just quickly look it up, that we're all on the same page. Where is my browser? This is not my browser. This is also not my browser. This is my browser. Okay, what's it called? Seek Etiliv on Steam. It's a minimalist puzzle game. Okay, let's find out what this is. I like the minimalism of it. Okay, so it's tile based, and I don't fully grasp it, but it's played on a 3x3 grid, which I think is quite nice. And I have no idea what I'm just watching, but I like the aesthetics of it all. And I can see something here with tombstones or graves that you can bump, and some treasure you want, and you want to avoid those skulls, I think. Okay, Galgavish, I almost banned you right now. I just glanced at the chat in the mod view. And I just I saw something famous and a .com address, and I was, oh, maybe delete, but no. Okay, so that was close. Yeah. So apologies if you accidentally banned. Please talk to a representative at Pixel Prophecy. Oh, and someone in my friends list is playing DayZ. Oh my god, the pandemic is really getting to a lot of people, right? Okay, so what I liked about Minesweeper is, I'm going to add this on a complete cerebral thing, but there we go. That you start with a lot of hidden information. You don't see anything of the board, and you have essentially to clean up the board. You have to bring some order in the board, which I also like. You know what? Let's do this. Where is... Oh, I drew with white. So am I on a new layer? Yes. There we go. Is this... Oh, this is almost the same pixel size. Let's say 4. For cleaning up is fun. I hope that makes sense. Cleaning up is fun. It's such a stupid design idea, but yeah, this is, again, I'm just coming there from what I enjoy about Minesweeper. So I just put this on a new layer there. that I'm not messing things up. Okay, so you should give this game a chance, believe me, comrade, says Pickerick. And is it Pickerick? I'm really sorry, Pickerick 90. And I probably will, you know what, let's put this on my wish list. How much is it? $5.90. This is okay. This is okay. And look at this positive reviews, 80% positive. So Seek Etiliv. You know what? I will just drag the link here. And puzzle games. I hope I'm not falling into the trap as well. Femify says, something I know from Mario Party, you walk over a grid and see whether the neighbor tiles are traps or not. Traps, this is nice. It reminds me a little bit now of Hunt the Wampus. Does anyone know the game Hunt the Wampus? If you do, please let me know in the chat, and also tell me how much over 50 you probably are, because it's one of the earliest games. But there is also, I think, Hunt the Wampus is also played on a grid, and you can only see into the next rooms that are connected on the grid. So maybe have some sort of connections there on the grid. Could be fun. And you could there are certain rules where there is a wampus because you want to hunt the wampus, but there are also pits, and you can shoot arrows from one room to the next. And the thing is that you want to find the wampus without the wampus finding you. So you want to hit the wampus with an arrow from the other room without falling into a trap. I think this was the rule set. I know of Hunt the Wampus, but I've never played more than a few turns in it. Yeah, me neither. I fell into a trap and a pit, and I thought, what a stupid game. So I never got far with it. But it installed on Frank's laptop, of course. So okay, so wonderful. Someone knows Hunt the Wampus. I think there's even the basic source code out there, because the game is from the 70s, I think. Played on big mainframes. Okay, so you know what? Maybe I want to start. It's really hard. I don't quite know how to start actually. But let's say, do you have a representation of yourself on board? Because yeah, I'm 10 steps ahead now, because I thought, you know what would be nice to have some sort of let me pick my reddish color here. I thought, you know what would have been nice if there is some sort of, I cannot draw here. There are some sort of passages where you can progress from one tile to the next, or you can only access certain tiles from another, and then you have a representation of yourself on the board, and you can just follow this, and maybe there is treasure, and oh my god, I just reinvented Rogue. So this was what I'm worried about, because it doesn't have anything to do now with numbers or endless play or something. So I really have to make very sure that I'm not trying or not accidentally reinventing something that's already out there. One thing that may be interesting to think about when trying to think of grid games is the game of life and other cellular automata. Yeah, that's the Conway's game of life, right? We have rules that the neighbors of a cell, the neighbors of a cell determine based on a set of rules what happens to the cell in the next turn. So essentially, it's turn-based. There is a progression between turns where the board changes between turns. You know what? I will put this here and say board. I miss typing when I'm writing by hand, so this is not good. So board changes between turns, because I like this. I like this that you have to, as a player, you have to adapt to new things as you play. I like this. And Badger Dash says, sorry for being late to the stream, and hello all with spending 50. Oh, it's no worries, Badger Dash. I started just earlier today, so rest in Pepsi, Conway. Okay, rest in Pepsi. I've never heard this, so congratulations. By the way, I have some coffee now in your honor, because rest in Pepsi. My God. I'm going to steal this.
Damn.
Okay, so the board changes between turns, so this means we need to have some sort of rules on how the board changes. Coming from Minesweeper, I'm just thinking about, okay, let's start with basic Minesweeper. So you have a set, let's say multiply. You have a board that's essentially entirely hidden, and then you uncover something and it tells you how many mines are among its neighbors, right? So let's make this a bit more open. Let's assume there are 2 mines here and 2 here and 1 and 1 and 0. Well, we don't need to have 0 here and 1. Okay, so right now it's Minesweeper, right? But what if the bombs move between turns? So, which means that right now we have here a mine and here a mine, but with the next turn maybe the mines move in a certain pattern, and you have to find out the pattern, how they... Okay, no, I don't like this. I don't like this, because what I don't like about it is that it might feel random, or what happens with the tiles that you've already uncovered because mines couldn't move there. Yeah, probably not a good start to start with Minesweeper from there. Maybe we should start with a little set of rules. I'm really trying to wrap my head around how to come up with game ideas or puzzle game ideas, because I'm not used to thinking like that. I'm more, in terms of thinking, I'm more used to visual thinking with colors and shapes. But I like this. I like this so far. I think I'm getting somewhere, but I don't know how long it might take me or where. Frank says, yes, I'm not convinced by something where those changes are in a hidden part of the grid. Right. I'm always a big fan of Into the Breach. Just to give you a quick visual reminder of Into the Breach, because I've mentioned this somewhere, I think multiple times before, is that I'm a big fan of games like XCOM, where your movement is turn-based, and then you can shoot at the enemy and they of course shoot back. Everything is turn-based. But what I don't like about XCOM is those certain chances that you're able to hit someone or nothing. Because even if there's a 95% chance, well, there's still a 5% chance that your shot misses. But as soon as something is past 80%, in my head I always think, yeah, this has to be a hit. And I was playing XCOM 2 Chimera Squad, the XCOM, the latest one, and I wasn't having a good time because it was just super hard, and I had to save scum, so that pretty much every hit that when I'm playing was a hit, and I just, like I said, I just save scum so often that maybe it was a critical hit or even a hit, because even if it's just one hit that you miss, the enemy would have the upper hand and it wouldn't go well for you. And then I contrast this with Into the Breach, because the cool thing about Into the Breach is, let's make this bigger here, is that with each turn it really tells you what the enemy is going to do or what is going to happen with the next turn. There is nothing that's really random about it. Here we are at this whole input and output randomness discussion. So yeah, of course, where the enemies pop up is random, but you can deal with them in a fashion that is not very random. You know what the enemy will do in damage the next turn. It's not a random chance. It's not a value between 2 and 40 hit points. No, it's always 3, 2, and then 1 hit points. And you also even see what the enemy is targeting with the next turn. So I really like this, that you know, okay, this is the situation that I have to deal with. I can deal with it however I want, but if I don't deal with this enemy, it will hit this thing here no matter what. I mean, there's a 25% chance that it's not going to be hit in this case here. But this is also something that is a very conscious design decision, is random things should never happen. You should never count on random things to be against you. Like I said, the enemies, when they hit the buildings, essentially you don't want your buildings to be hit, because this is actually what makes you lose the game. Because with each building that is being hit, you lose one thing here on the power grid. Well, it's not one, sometimes it's two, never mind. And as soon as this is gone, you lose the game, essentially. So you want to avoid those buildings being hit. But there's a certain chance, like 15% in this case, that when an enemy attacks something like this, it will deflect. It will resist, and it won't count as something like this. Which is good, because as a player, you think, when an enemy attacks something and there's a 15% chance for you that it doesn't count, you think, okay, this is a pretty surefire hit, and I'm treating it as such conceptually, so I'm taking the hit, essentially. And then it's in this 15% chance that it didn't hit, it did deflect. And this is something where, as a player, okay, this is something that I didn't expect, but it is to my advantage. And I really like this slight thing that when something is entirely random, it's only to your advantage, but you can't count on it. So going back to this, I like this, that you know what is going to happen in the next turn, that you can adjust to it. Maybe, okay, I'm just spitballing here, maybe the placement of the bombs is random, but you have to draw the numbers. For example, well, it's not just random, the movement of the bombs follows a certain pattern, which you have to find out and anticipate and draw the numbers of how much bombs will be in this vicinity here. And the closer you are to, or the more correct you are, the more points you get. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I'm just spitballing here. But would this be a nice idea? Pickleric says OST of Into the Breach is blasting. Diamond, for sure, Diamond. Yes, it's another Ben Prantney sound who also did the FTL soundtrack. To me, FTL is still very much on the top, but FTL is just a little bit further down. So yeah, music of Into the Breach is amazing. It feels a lot bigger than FTL. It's really something. And Frank says, I'm thinking of something where a blob starts on a few tiles and expands a bit every turn, and you can put blockers on tiles that change block the expansion. Not sure what the end goal would be. Maybe keep the blob under a certain size before a certain number of moves. Very vague, but this is interesting. I like your thinking. So it's essentially this blob grows, but depending on which cells it occupies or which neighbor cells are occupied. So we got there this rule set of Conway's Game of Life, and you need to contain this blob then. I'm not quite sure. I'm 100% convinced, but there's a kernel in there or something. Or Fenofy says, the bombs move faster, more aggressive if you have the wrong numbers. Yes, this is another thing that maybe I want to avoid, or this is hard, because I'm not quite sure if I like it when a player performs badly, that you punish them by making the challenge even more harder to them, because you easily get into this death spiral where everything just keeps getting harder and harder. It's like when you're in a game like Contra and you get very far, and then you suddenly die. So essentially, and you also lose all your power-ups. So essentially, or with vertical shmups in something, some sort of games like this, where if you die once and lose all your power-ups, essentially you can't really make it because you've been punished too hard. The other thing is, of course, is rubber banding. On the other hand, this is also what I don't like about Mario Kart, is when you're in first place, you only get the shit items, and this is also not very fun. And yeah, I'm not quite sure where to go with this. Probably it's much too sooner to think about these kind of design decisions. But I just wanted to vocalize what's going through my mind. My God, I've watched way too much about game design pitfalls and so on. So this is what's really blocking me, I feel. Frank says, what you're describing says Mastermind Minesweeper hybrid to me. Yeah, exactly. It's what Fernify said, right? Where you have to guess the pattern, but also on a 2D grid, right? And Piglik says, Jonas Tirola is also a very smart and cool guy. He has several YouTube videos showcasing his process of creating puzzles, casual games. A very cool and inspiring TLDR. He plays with items made from paper when prototyping. Caps, figures, fields, obstacles. Recommend to check him out. Thank you, Jonas Tirola. There, in Austria we got this federal county that is called Tyrol. So no, this was the same thing. Didn't I copy it? Jonas Tyrola YouTube. It's a mixture of educational and into my bin for later it goes. Thank you so much. 98,000 subscribers. My God, I made a mind-controlled game. Oh, I think I've seen some of his games somewhere on Twitter. This is nice. So yeah, thank you for the recommendation. Maybe I should have inspired myself before trying to tackle a game there. I think such a thing looking good, Phil says Commander Stitch. Oh, thank you so much for dropping by, Commander Stitch. Yeah, it doesn't look good, but I'm glad you're here. Thank you. And Frank says, I think such a thing could work, but you have to find a balance. And I'm here. I just noticed a big snowfall outside. Had to check it out, says Mr. Julius. Oh, you have snow falling. Here we had our share of snow so far, and right now the weather is warming up a little bit, and you feel, I mean, it's still January, but maybe there's spring around the corner, and this is what I call fool's spring, because it will snow at least twice this year here where I'm living, and almost every year I fall into the trap of thinking, yeah, maybe I don't need my jacket next week because it's getting warmer, and then it just keeps getting colder and more snow and snow sludge and so on. It's no fun. But finally, maybe in May, April, things will start looking up. And had to share photos with you on Discord, says Mr. Julius. Let me quickly check out my Discord then. Where on Discord did you share it? I mean, I'm on streamer mode now in Discord, so it's on whatever, I would assume. Yes, open original. So let me quickly show you the snow photo Mr. Julius just shared there. Look at this snow. This is wonderful. You know what? Thinking of snow, how about having something accumulate on the board like snow, where it snows, and it's something where maybe the numbers are not things that are in proximity to a certain cell or something. Maybe the numbers are just how high the snow is on one cell. You know what? Maybe if you would draw it from the side, it would be this rising level of snow, so that you have essentially a third dimension to this. Maybe I'm just overthinking this right now. Okay, let's try something. Let's try something here with this contagion idea that Frank said. Okay, let's assume we have here this cell, and when there, let's state a very simple rule, and we say when there is among, let's not go the 8 neighbors, let's go just use 4 neighbors, and the first rule is when there is no occupied cell inside the 4 neighbors, the cell to the right should be occupied as well the next turn. But if there is a cell that's occupied to the right, go down. So we go right and down, for example. So maybe I should have painted this here. So how about this? How should this go with the next turn? So this thing here is, this is empty. So I just forgot my own rules. I was going 4 steps ahead and I forgot the rules. Because we never have proper snow in England. Yeah, England is weird right now, right? With Brexit, and now you got imported snow from the continent. It's really weird. Cleaning up is fun. Are we shoveling the snow, says Skelly Sam? And maybe because I mean cleaning up a board is fun, right? Is when you like in Minesweeper, when you got everything flagged and everything sorted out. This is fun, I think. And oh my god, Galgavish has sunglasses on the Ashley unicorn. I don't know how you did this, but congratulations. I applaud you. Do I have something with an applause? Well, I got something that's drum roll. Yeah, this was bad. But look at this. This is the coolest unicorn I've ever seen. Amazing. So I'm looking forward to summer when unicorns can wear shades. Okay, so thinking about this contamination thing. So as a player, maybe you have a certain number of barricades that you can place. Let's make this red here. Maybe you got 3 barricades that you can place, and you need to direct this sludge, let's call it sludge for lack of a better term, to a sink, essentially. And because it keeps growing left and down, this was a right mouse button, so with each new turn it grows left and down. You know what, I think I should really try to implement this if I want to keep working on this idea, because let's say when I place a barricade here and it can't extend downwards, that it can only go into this direction. You know what, I think I'm just doing a poor man's fluid simulation here now in 2D. Mr. Julius says, I work 12 miles away from town, so tomorrow is going to be fun. My god, driving through snow, or even if you're not driving, it's even worse. We had to walk 12 miles through snow when I was a kid. Frank says, you probably have to direct it to a sink, but also avoid some squares. Yes. So this sounds, like I said, sounds like a tame the fluid in a sense. But then it might also grow if it has more than 3 tiles or more than 3 neighbors. Maybe this one here. This has 4 neighbors, 1 on each side. So maybe, and this means that it goes away. No. I just had this idea, of Conway's Game of Life, but as a top-down shooter, where essentially each turn is 1 second, so that you have a blob that multiplies by 1 second, but as a player you have to walk around and essentially just clean up and shoot the thing or thumb. No, wait, this was some kind of Ludum Dare game I think that I played a year or 2 ago. I don't know the name of the game, the name of the game, but I played it on a stream somewhere. Never mind, it's already been done. Just guns, says Galgavish. Yeah. And driving through snow in country which is not ready for any type of snow, says Mr. Julius. Yeah, this is wonderful. In Austria, we have many federal states that are very used to snow. Salzburg, where I'm living, is being one of them. And we got the capital city, that is Vienna, where those people don't have really... I mean, it's the biggest federal state. The entire city is just one federal state. And the fun thing is when you encounter those on the highways, the people from there, because usually they go too fast. This is the preconception that we have. People from Vienna always go too fast, but as soon as there is snow, they start to going much slower than everyone else, because they're not used to driving on snow. But yes, at this point I'm not seeing the mechanics as Frank, and yeah, I'm not either. You know what? Let's go back to the drawing board, or you know what? I'm still on the drawing board. Because you know what, I'm missing numbers. So, And what I like about is hidden information. You know what, I just came up with something that you can flip tiles. And something is on the backside of each tile. But what is on the backside of each tile? What do you want? Maybe there is a picture that you want to combine, and you have to flip tiles, or you have to, or maybe just rotate tiles. Not liking it. Okay, different idea. My God, this is hard. Coming up with a new puzzle game is hard. How about maybe we should group something there. There is one and there is another, and we need to get stray things to each other that we can accumulate them, that we can make piles. Or am I just inventing a turn-based strategy resource collection game? Mr. Julia says maybe rotating tiles to create a bridge for player. So this would assume that we have some sort of player representation, like an avatar or something. Yeah, this is a person there looking ahead, by the way. I'm not quite sure if I want to have an avatar there on the grid, because again I'm a bit worried that I'm just reinventing Rogue there, because as soon as you have a representation there on the grid, you need to have some sort of where it matters where on the grid the player is standing, so maybe some things can hurt them or other things where they can pick up and so on. So this is, I think my problem is that this would push me in a certain direction where I'm just thinking of in terms of for grid-based dungeon crawler. My God, I'm so polluted with preconceptions that I already have about so many games. I mean, it's really hard. It's something when you're like 8 years old and you're tasked to come up with a game of your own. It's so much easier, because right now I'm really feeling stifled from all the design talks I've seen and the books I've read about game design. It's really hard. And Ingvar is also here. Hello there. Hello Ingvar. I'm just trying to come up with a new puzzle game, and it's not going well. I'm not entirely sure that guy can be taken seriously, though. He thought he was talking to himself from the future. You mean this guy here? Just like you said in your LD keynote. Exactly. My God, Tutvari, you just put the finger on a sore spot. Yeah, my keynote, inspiration. Okay, what did I say? It's all the games that have been made already have been made, but no game has been made with your very spin on it, with your background, with your social environment and so on. So, but I don't know how this applies to a very abstract puzzle game, because my social background or my experience is those set of rules. I want a square tile grid, I want to have something with numbers, something you can play endlessly, and where cleaning the board or organizing the board is fun. And the board changes between turns is something that I'm not quite sure about this, but I like the idea, essentially. Have you tried Puzzle Script? I have a blast with it last time, says Ingvar. And I have tried it, but I was very tired when I tried it and nothing worked out, and I was not getting used to the syntax. But yeah, for those who don't know, Puzzle Script is amazing. Let me quickly show you Puzzle Script, because it is exactly what the name says. It's an open source, essentially puzzle scripting language. And you can make, I think, Space Monkey made his last Ludum Dare game with Puzzle Script. So pretty much you can do a lot with it. You can even do sound effects in this one here. And pretty much everything is text-based. So you draw your level as text, as you can see here. Let me zoom in. So this is how you draw levels, for example. And you define also your player, character and sprites pretty much in the same way. And level editor, because when you do something here and you can save it, then it even shows up there as a level, for example. So this is super nice, but it probably takes me a week or so to get into this, that I can start being productive with this. And yeah, probably this is why I'm starting really just drawing, essentially doing a digital paper prototype, because I feel that I don't want to get into another scripting or programming language before doing anything else. Finesweeper is Minesweeper with some... okay, I have to see what's happening in the chat. Tutvari says, what I want to say is you should make an MMORPG. Thank you. Yeah, right. A Zelda-like. A Zelda-like with puzzle just bigger. Gelisam says, another idea. Numbers on the floor tell you how high the piles of snow need to be, but you can only shovel one entire pile on top of a neighbor. Okay, so it's a bit like threes then, where you just combine things and move around. With threes, I think you move the entire board, right? But this is an interesting idea. Frank says, Finesweeper is Minesweeper with some tweaks, like saving up extra lives and things like that, and it works. Now find another common game. Tweak it. Find another common game and tweak it. Yeah, I wanted to make something like that with Solitaire. Fine Solitaire, but I couldn't really come up with a good twist on Solitaire, because there have been so many Solitaire games in the past years. I wasn't aware of this. I did one afternoon of research and found like Solitaire Quest. There are entire RPGs where the main fighting mechanic is playing solitaire, I think. It's just amazing, and I thought, oh my god, there has been so much great things done in this genre. I'm not touching it. I'm deterred because it's like I can't do this. And Pickleric, I'm so sorry that I'm having problems pronouncing your nickname. Pardon, that's me again. I can recommend Puzzle Script for current stage of prototyping. It's a special, very simple game engine focused. Exactly, yeah, we've just had. Sorry that you were typing this out and I was just showing off Puzzle Script. I know how annoying this is when you type something in a Twitch chat and you think, I want to make the streamer aware of this, and then the streamer does it while you're not finished typing and you think, oh damn it, I wanted to say this, but yeah. I can drop a GDC video mentoring it in action and how it helped one guy develop a cute Sukubanish mobile game. Yes, please do. Please share anything that you got related to this chat. The more information we have, the better. I'm a big fan of GDC talks, but my backlog is longer than the things that I've watched over the years. And fair enough for a non-programmer. And yeah, says Ingvar, probably about my MMORPG Zelda-like. Multiplayer solitaire. Right, where you can only shuffle. You know what? Let's try this. Where just an idea where you have something like that says 3, that says 6, and that says 9, and you got a bunch of dots on the grid, and maybe you start off here, and then you can go to this one, but now you carry all the things that you have and need to make it to a certain number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now I got here 6 dots, and now I can go this, put this here on the 6, and now I'm done. How about this, where you just essentially just accumulates things? It's like crumbs or motes of dust that you collect up, and each level has like 3 of those things, and one is super simple, the next one is intermediate, and one is super hard, so that you can always progress from the levels. But of course it would be much better the higher points you score. How about this? I kind of like this actually. And Pickleric90 just posted the GDC talk, and it's 24 to 16 is the time label. Oh, thank you so much. By the way, did you know that you can also share the GDC video is called Tech Toolbox for Game Programmers, and you can, oh look at this, it's Kate Compton, this is nice. You can also share a video with timestamps in YouTube, by the way. But thank you so much. You know what, I will take this video. Where do I have it? Just had it here. No, this is Puzzle Script. There it is. You know what, I could open this also there. here that everyone knows how the thumbnail looks like. So tech toolbox for game programmers. No thanks, no thanks. Yes, I agree to everything. Thank you. So it's 24:16, you said. 24:16. So let's kill the music. And that we don't have some sort of audio feedback, I change now to headphones.
And for that game. Give it up for Alan.
Can you hear this, or is this too loud or too quiet?
Hi there. So I'm Alan Hazelden. I made a game called Soccerbond, a game called A Good Snowman is Hard to Build. They're both thinky puzzle games that are really hard. If you played them, maybe you think they're okay. I don't know.
No, what did I just do? Playback speed twice. I usually like to blast through talks.
I'm not going to be talking about like puzzle design. I'm going to be talking about the tools we made the levels with. So most games need a level editor, not just puzzle games. And generally there's two ways you can go. You can have an external editor. Maybe there's a default one that you use, and it's kind of generic for making 3D models or whatever.
Okay, I'm not watching the entire talk right now, but let's see. Puzzle script. Okay, so he made. Oh yeah, I think I've seen this talk because this game looks familiar.
It's a puzzle game about being a monster and making snowmen. So you can see. What's even the point of making a snowman if you can't go on target?
Right, where you have to accumulate a right amount of balls to make a big one, a medium one, and a small one, and they always have to go in this direction. And yeah, he uses puzzle script essentially as level editing, and then his engine interprets this that it looks this nice, right? I think this is the talk. A good snowman is hard to build is very good. Yeah, I've tried it and it's also very hard. By the way, it's really hard. But yeah, it looks like the game that I just came up with already, someone already came up with. But I'm not quite sure then if I should keep my dot collecting game. This is a little bit disheartening right now, but hey. And there also is not a lot of hidden information there on the script, but in the game on the playing field in my case. But like I said, what I like about it is this aspect that you have of clearing up something. So maybe this could be my prototyping homework is just coming up with a prototype of essentially this, and then just having randomly place just some dots and some numbers and see how it plays and where the challenge is, and then just play around with it, right? So you know what, I will copy this entire thing there and just reduce it so that I can have it here as one image, and I call this Dustbuster. Let's call it Dustbuster, because I think there might be something in there, but again, it's still lacking some things. So many emails today. This is amazing. I feel so important getting emails on a Sunday. And Gelisam says, hidden information, some of the numbers are hidden under initial piles. Yeah, but my thing is, as soon as you place your pile on something, you can't get it off there, so that you maybe even that you can't take a step back where you have been before. Is this not empty? Okay, there we are. So that you can only step on a tile once, maybe. I think I don't like this. Okay, I'm thinking in terms of game feel. Okay, what I like about Minesweeper is that when you click something and it's open, that the entire board just gets unveiled apart from all the problematic areas. So it already feels like you're doing something correctly here. Because this is one of the issues that I had with the games like Steven's Sausage Roll, how amazing they might be in terms of mechanics, what with this very simple, it's very straightforward mechanic, how much in the end you can get out of it. It's just amazing. I've seen this video of, I think it was Joseph Anderson, who really pulled apart Steven's sausage roll. But the problem that I'm having with the game is when I played it. Let me show you Steven's sausage roll. Oh, it's with PH. The problem that I was having is that it doesn't feel rewarding in a sense. Like I'm talking about the very basic visceral response of a game where you click something and it makes plop with a nice particle effect. And with Finesweeper or Minesweeper, I always liked it that you click something and then it's gone, and it's very hard to articulate what I mean. But I want this feeling that when you click something that it's very nice. And here you just let's see if there is some kind of gameplay that you can see. Essentially, you just move around on a grid and interact with sausages. And it's not very pretty, I have to admit, but it's overwhelmingly positive. And it costs like $25, which I find incredibly brave. But I think there even was a discussion why this puzzle game that looks like this is priced at $25. And the reason for this was, there is a lot of design work has been put into this game, and only people who really are die-hard fans of super cerebral, super hard puzzle games will enjoy this. And for those people, €25 for a game they can spend weeks on and still be entertained and challenged is a good price point. And those people who think, who would probably not enjoy it because it's just so hard, for those people, they are deterred by the price, which I think is a very interesting price politics point, where it makes a lot of sense that essentially the price says, are you really sure you're into this kind of game? Because if you're not, it's too expensive. So just as a side note, I found this nice. Okay, so hidden information or something to uncover. I still like this, and I still like those little tiny blocks that we have in Minesweeper. Okay, so that I'm not getting distracted by what we have, I will start over. And okay, let's start again with the entire information being hidden. Everything being hidden. I like this so far, and you can say where you want to start, or is there already a starting point for what you do? Maybe it's all snow and you need to plow through the snow and find an exit. Maybe, you know what, this looks like actually quite nice visually, I mean. But now this looks like a tile game where you have to place certain sections, and then it's a bit like Pipe Dream, if anyone knows this. Never mind. Let's assume I just click this tile there, and underneath this tile I just click this open here, and I get something from it, and it says here 2. Or maybe it says, let's pick a smaller brush, it says 2, and then has this thing here where it says 2/1. What could this mean? So that there is something on top and there is something on bottom. So maybe I just uncover this one here, and I get 2. And I think, okay, this is good, what I'm accumulating here, but it's 2. And now I'm uncovering this 1 here. And what do I get? I lose 1. Because, okay, I'm really just doing free flow rules based here. Because everything that's where the number is lower than the other number, you lose points, otherwise you gain points. Now this does not make sense, because I just realized it's a decision, because if the goal is always to pick the higher number, then why should you ever uncover the field with the lower number? This doesn't make sense. This is just just inane. Okay, but what if, hear me out, what if it says 2 over 1 and you can uncover this here and you get 2 points, but now this thing here with the 1 is locked. You can't uncover this field anymore. And then you click on a different field, let's say this one here. Let's erase this. And this one says 3 and 1. Okay, then I can uncover this one here and get 3 points. 1, 2, 3. But also this one here is locked. And I completely lost where I was going with this. I've lost where I wanted to go with this. My God. I thought I had an idea, but I didn't. Okay, never mind. Sorry for the excitement. This was bad. Okay. But I like it that the board changes, that you lock certain things when you do other things. Okay. Let's uncover this tile here. You know what? Maybe I should just use a marquee selection. This would be much faster. Okay, so the information that I will uncover now is, I mean, in my example before, I uncovered how many points you get at a certain, when you open a certain tile, which does not make a lot of sense, because then what was actually the value of this tile? Why is it, I mean, otherwise you can click just one after the other. So there should be some sort of strategy involved. Gelisam says, I like it. You have to balance taking resources versus keeping your options open. Aha! Thank you for seeing much more in this than I did. So you got a certain amount of resources that you can invest in either keeping your options open, but then you will run out of resources. And when you've run out of resources, you know what, let's make this just simple dots. Maybe you start with like 5 dots or something, and some fields take resources and others give resources. And so, okay, so the first one, the first click just tells you, maybe, okay, idea. Right now we're in randomness, but never mind. So this one tells you 2 and 4. So, but you never know if 4 is a -4 or a +4. So you open this, let's say you open this one here, this field here, and suddenly it says -4 and you've lost 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if this would be fun, but now I've locked this field here, so I can't click this one here and have maybe +2. So, or it's always 1 is plus and 1 is minus, but you don't know which is which. For example, yeah, like with this, so you open it, you don't know if 2 is +2 or 4 is +4. So yeah, I've took a bad hit now. So I can open a new field. Let's say this one here, and this one here also says 4 and 2. But now, since this field here is open, and I know that this is a -4, I can safely open this one, and this is a +2. So I get 2 of my points back. But now if I open this one here, and it says 2 and 1, and I know, okay, so this must be a +2, but I can't open it because I've already locked it. So I only know that this field here must be a hidden -1. Does this make sense? Would this be interesting? I mean, I kind of like it. Maybe I should prototype this. So you probably don't want to open this one, but you want somehow for yourself to flag this as a -1. And then you open another field. Right now, the problem that I'm having is how to construct levels like this. Because right now, as you've seen it, I opened something and then I invented a value that goes in there. Let's call this 1. And the problem is, okay, I'm already here at a problem. Okay, the problem is the following. Right now, if we have here a tile, I said number and number. So this number here refers to the tile that's on top, and this one refers to the tile that's on the bottom. Right, same thing is for this here. One is for the left and the other is for the right. But now here with this one here, I got one on the left, that's 1. But there is nothing there on the right. So, or of course I could do something like this, where it's just this cross section where it really tells you. It doesn't really tell you much, right? Actually, this doesn't work. It actually need to be some kind of hash where you get different numbers. And oh my god, it's already getting convoluted. So okay, maybe it should be vertical, isn't it? Right. So at this point, the information about what is in this, let me zoom in, the information about what is in this field here, when this one is vertical. Okay, of course I can't draw when I'm zoomed in, sorry. The information when this is vertical, damn it, I just want to draw something. The information when this is vertical means there is no information about this field here, about this field. The only information what's under this field here comes from this one. Maybe this tile also refers to this one, or maybe this tile also refers to this one. But okay, so this is something for the level creation algorithm. Make sure that there's enough clues what is underneath a certain tile. So this one here essentially means just there is 1 up here and 3 up there. So I got still 3 dots. Am I willing to go 3 here and see if it's a +3? Then I would be +6, right? But if it's a -3, then of course I lose the game essentially. So you know what? Let's say I'm not going to try this, and instead I uncover what's up here. So this is a +1, and look at this. I made a good choice there. So this one here is locked. So probably what the game could also do is when it locks something, I'm not quite sure if the game should say this is a locked -3. Okay, you can't, it's hard to read, so let's make this blue. It's a locked -3, and here it's a locked +2. Or it should not put the numbers on and have you as a player remember what number is, whether it's a plus or a minus. Or you know what, instead of +3 and +- it just says minus and plus there, because this is actually what's in what you want to know. All right, I think I'm getting somewhere with this. Okay, so let me just quickly check my mail, because I'm curious now, and I got a new comment on YouTube and a new invoice. Okay, so I don't have to worry about, oh my god, what mail did I just get. Okay, Gelisam says, to generate the level I would add more and more compatible groups of tiles until you can't, then fill the rest with blanks. This sounds like a very sensible idea for level creation. I mean, this is the fun of making puzzle games, right? Is coming up with a rule set and then realizing, okay, how can I algorithmize, how can I translate this into algorithms that create solvable levels that you can solve. My God, my English is so bad today. I'm sorry if it's hard to listen for you to me. Okay, but I think I like where this is going. What I not so much like about this is that it looks a bit daunting in the presentation. But what other ideas I have is maybe you open up something here, and instead of having this 1/2 or 1 next of 3 or something, might be 1/3. And you're not sure, does it mean on top or left? So is it the neighbor that's on top or on the bottom, or it could be to the left or to the right. So you're not quite sure where it is. So and now you have to take clues. Does this make sense? I hope it does make sense. So you know what? Maybe I should put this into words. So the tiles that you have, or the clues that you have, are either, let's make 1, 2, 3, just so that I know if there are any more ideas that I can explore. So you either got clues that are x over y, or x next to y, or x somewhere related to y. So you need clues. And then we got, of course, fields that state a number, either plus or minus a number, as we have here. Then we got, of course, just some indicators that are locked. Should we allow players to flag what they think with a minus or a plus sign? I think this would be a good idea. I just deleted everything. Oh God. So now that I can, let's just make this 15 pixels. So as a player, I flag this, for example, the player flagging color is, let's say, blue. I flag this as a minus because I know that this is a minus. Okay, but here I don't know if this is a +1. So maybe I want to uncover another clue so that I know maybe where this 3 is coming from. How about when I open this one here? And now the problem that I'm having, the next problem that I'm having is, right now, like I said, I'm generating this tile level here, this tile set on the fly. But what if there is already, if I'm opening something up and that is not a clue, that is already a number? You know what, maybe this wouldn't pose much of a problem actually. Because this one here is not referenced. I mean, the 3 is either here or here. So, and what's in this, let's say this is also a clue. Yeah, if this is also a clue, I think it should work. Again, I'm just trying this, but I like where this is going, really. This is nice. You know what, let's bring in some music again. I'm sorry. Hope this stream is not too little entertaining. So let's bring in a number here and say this is let's say 2 slash, yeah, okay, let's try it like this, 2/1. Okay, so the thing is now, again, this is this thing here, so we know that it could be either on top of it or to the left or the right. So again, but we can, since this is there right on the edge, we know that it's probably not up and down because there is nothing here. So this must be actually a 2 next to 1. So, and since this is some sort of a 2, it can't be a 3. So the 3 must be here. And because I don't want to risk any of those, the points that I have, I just uncover this one here. And this one is a -1, which is cool. but okay, no, it's not cool, because now this one here has actually been a plus and now it's locked. So maybe maybe this was not a good idea, but at least now the problem that I'm having now as a player is that, okay, you want to take a hit to realize what is covered or what is hidden underneath here. But now that I took the hit and it really was a hit, it was not a +1, I can't get to this +3 here that I desperately need. So again, there is a lot of guessing involved. Does this make sense? But you know what? Let's stick to this initial rules, to these ideas that I had. Just make this look a bit nicer. By the way, I'm really lucky that everything here is on video, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to reconstruct this. This is nice. My wife just texted me that she's also watching my little stream here. So hi Connie, I'm just trying to come up with a new puzzle game. It's like Finesweeper but reloaded. Okay, so yeah, let's say this is locked and at this point, but we know that it's a plus. So this is bad, but 2 and 1. So this must be a 2 then. But is it a +2 or a -2? Let's uncover this one and say, oh, look at this. This is a +2. Finally, I get something here. And now this one here is locked. Okay, but the problem is, how do you finish the game, or when is a level finished? You should be working on that Zelda MMO you promised her. Oh my god, don't say it! Now she's watching and she knows that I'm not working on the Zelda MMO. I'm so sorry, Connie, that I'm not working on the Zelda MMO I promised you 4 years ago. My god. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this looks already a bit convoluted right now, this level that I have here, but I'm on Zelda MMO. Thanks, Connie. Yeah, now I really should be working on the Zelda MMO. You know what? Let's make this a Zelda game. I mean, what can Nintendo do? What can they do? Sue me? Probably, yes. Let's not say the word that starts with Z and ends with Elda, because this stream might get flagged. We all know Nintendo is big and unforgiving. Beautiful. Okay, back to this little puzzle game, which I think might be a bit too convoluted, too hard to grasp what the rules are. But you know what? Let's keep going. Let's keep going, and I uncover this tile here. And this tile here probably says, I mean, since this here is in the edge, it must be differently, because it can't use this thing here because it has nothing that is underneath. It can't use this way of showing things because there is nothing there. It can't show this thing here because it's like, as we've seen, there's neither one next to it nor one under it, so I need a special case there for the edges. So the edges, we could say that the corners, more or less, so that the corners are either always empty and have this little corner icon there, maybe, or we could say that the corners are always fixed numbers, but this one here, the problem is if I make here a +2, there is no clue for what in the corner is. So maybe we can say that the corners are always random. So if you want to test your luck, you can just pick a corner and know that it might be a plus, it might be a minus. Or that the corners are always empty, so there is actually no point in using the corners. But if I don't use the corners, let's say if I say this corner doesn't exist, there we go. If I say this corner doesn't exist, then this now has become a corner, and if this doesn't exist, and so on, and I would eliminate the entire game board. Okay, so we need to do something there with the corners. Maybe the corners are special special things that are neither clues nor points. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do with the corners, but let's continue. Okay, so I think I can open this one here, and let's see. So I got here a clue on top, so there can't be a number, but I got a number here and a number there. So let's say this one is a +3 then. Then let's say this is also a 3 and a 5. So as a player now, I know that this must be a minus, so I'm flagging this as a minus. So which also means that since this is a minus and this is a minus, this probably is a plus then. So I don't even need the clue, because if I open this one here, it's certain to be a plus. I don't get it. What's the problem with the corners again? Yeah, the problem with the corners is in this case here, where I can't put a clue in the corner, because for the way I write it here, that something is over something or something is next to something, or either over or next, doesn't work here, because I got here two cells, that two nulls essentially. So this is why but if I put here a number in, like say +3, then this one doesn't have a clue in this case, because there are also just some points, some dispensers. I should have a better word for the numbers where you get points or lose points. So this is my thinking, is that either it's always something that you get or don't get, and have sure to make when the level gets generated that it's a clue, or that yeah, pretty much everything should have at least one clue. Ingvar says it may be a useless 1 or 2 clue. Yeah, but it wouldn't be too elegant, right? If it's a useless, if it says here maybe X and 2, let's say, because this part there is of no use to you, and you. Oh my god, I deleted everything. Because this part here is essentially just clutter, because you know there is nothing there, so you might as well just say there's a +2 on this side. So yeah, either leave the corners empty or just have random numbers without clues to them. So this again is not what I'm quite sure. So it can be just a diagonal clue with less options. Yeah, the diagonal clue means either it's on top of each other, or either it's to the sides. So essentially, yeah, still not sure what to do this for now. My god, this is bothering me so much. But yeah. So by the way, I'm thinking about how to count the points, because as I've said with this one here, what is it that you want to achieve as a player? Do you want to open up as many fields as you can? But of course, whenever you open something with a clue, you lock the other tile there. But or do you want to finish the level or get all the numbers? And maybe this could be. You want to open up all the numbers, all the resource fields. Let's call them resource fields. You want to open up all the resource fields and still be in the positive in the end. So essentially, it's a puzzle game. Downside to this is it might not be working if this is generated on a random basis, because I mean, I could make the algorithm that it assumes a certain sequence where you always end up in the positive, but if you choose a different route and you can't know what's the correct route through a game or through a board, is that you might paint yourself into a corner, or even the level has made you paint yourself into a corner which you couldn't have known. So maybe let's not do this to open up all the dots. Maybe you just have to accumulate a certain number of dots to be able to go to the next level. This should be an arrow. Let's make it a bit more arrow-like. that this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so maybe you need 10 points to go to the next level, and the more tiles you leave unopened, the more points you get. Wow, I think maybe this would work, because like I said before, since we know that this is a minus and we know that this is a minus, we don't need to open this clue field here. We can just pick the plus sign here, and this gives us points. So unused clues give points. Let me write this down. My god, this is already become a mess. So yeah, let's say 5, and board changes between turns. I deleted because it's not valid anymore. Let's see my other course. Square tile grid, check. Numbers, check. Endless play, probably, check. Cleaning up is fun. Maybe, I'm not quite sure about how fun this cleaning up is, but yeah, we will see. So let's say 4 pixels, and let's say 5. What did I just say? Points. Well, this is not a core mechanic. Maybe I should not say it's 5. I use this. Unopened, opened clues equals points, because we all know players love points. At least I've been told so in the 80s when they were playing on the arcades. Ingvar said, why bother that half of the options are gone? Yeah. Woo, my punctuation is a mess, says Ingvar. And oh, Lilo Cormick is also here. Thank you so much for dropping by, Lilo. I'm right now in the process of designing another puzzle game, and I think I'm going somewhere with this, as you can see from this utter mess of numbers, essentially. Okay, so in the end, I've just deleted all the points that I had here in the top. So I think let's say we had like 4 points, and for the next level we need 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 8 points. So yeah, let's say here 8. This is supposed to be an 8. Yeah, you know what? Let's just pick a brush that's not as thick. Okay, so we need 8, and we got 4. So, but what do you do? How do you advance to the next level if you don't? If you run out of tiles to open, essentially. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how this should go, but yeah, let's just keep going. Where did I paint this one? Oh god, I painted this on the wrong layer. The horror. So yeah, let's fill this up with white then. Have it all neat and tidy. That's the background color. There we go. And so yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we still need 4 more. So let's make this just like donuts, and then I fill them out when I accumulated those points, so that I know how many I need for the next level or to succeed with this level. Maybe then when I run out of tiles that I could open, I still advance to the next level, but of course don't get enough points that I have. Maybe this makes sense. Okay, so I know that this is a plus, that I don't need this clue. So this clue can stay closed, and I just say there are points behind this, so I could open this and look at this. What did I get? A -2. Okay, so this sucks. So I just make this a bit nicer here. Yeah, let's go all the way. So brush, stroke, 1 pixel, no, 5 pixels. I wanted to have this without anti-aliasing, so anti-alias. I'm already polishing. Can you believe this? I'm polishing a paper prototype. What is wrong with me? So 1, 2, 4, and we need 8 to finish this level. And we already got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we got -2. So 1, 2. We've lost 2. Okay. Fill the over polisher. Yeah, you would assume that I come from Poland because of all the polish things that are happening here. Good old Phil polishes everything. Yeah, it's... I don't know how to defend myself. Yeah, I just polish this. I mean, you've probably noticed that the color scheme there is not random, because orange or this blue is a nice balance. It's the complementary color of orange. So there we go. Yeah, I can't keep from polishing. I need. My wife just said I need this drum roll for my bad jokes. So yeah, you would assume I'm from Poland because of all the polish. Did this work? I would hope so. Thanks for the reminder, Connie. Okay, so right, I know that this was wrong. So I know now I can open this one here, and this clue says. This clue says that there must be a 2. Of course, I need an orange. There must be a 2, and over, let's say 5. Let's say 5. Okay, from this thing here, I know that it can't be to the left and to the right, because I mean it can't be this thing here, this type of clue, because there is nothing on this side here. So it must be this either or clue is actually no, it's not this one. It's an above or below. So below here I know that it's a -2, so this must be a +5. So I can safely open this thing here, and it's a +5. Wonderful. Almost made it through the level, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. So, which am I going to open next? Okay, at this point I can already make some assumptions, because if there is, in this case, I mean it's locked, but I know that there is a resource underneath there, and it's a positive resource. So there must be a clue nearby. I can't always count on clues being nearby, but usually there is. I mean, there is a clue, so the chances are that there or on top of it is also a clue that tells me what is underneath this tile here. So I'm tempted to open up now this one, and I was unlucky because now it says here -3. So this sucks, but how should I have known? And this is a good question. How as a player can I know whether I'm just down to 1, for example, and then I just open up a tile and it says -4 or even -1, and I don't know. So maybe how I'm coming back to the corner problem. Maybe the corners are always pluses, so that you essentially have just 4 pluses in the corners that you know. Should you not know what to open, that you can replenish some of your resources up there on the bottom, on one of the corners. Or is this making things more convoluted, because to new players this might not make a lot of sense that the corners are always pluses? I mean, like I said, it looks like a mess already. I mean, at first glance, would this look like a game that you would enjoy playing? Probably not. Maybe it has just to do with the presentation, but yeah. Moving on. So I opened this -3, so I'm about to, okay, let's open this one here and hope that this is a clue. But it's a -5, for example, and now the game is over. So I need to, at this point, I need to make sure to have some sort of indication or pattern, essentially, where there are clues and where there are resource fields. Maybe I can make it so that it's let me just try it, that it alternates on the board. I just post a new board here, so that we say blue is a clue because it rhymes, and the oranges, orange fields are like this one here, are clues. So now blue is a clue and the orange is a resource. There we go. So does this work? Probably it would. So you can let's try this. Maybe I open up here a clue and it says 2/4, and then I open up here a clue, and this should be a clue then, and the clue should tell me something else. Maybe, you know what, maybe this could work when it's when it alternates, because I'm not, this clue here could refer to what's on top and the bottom, to what's left or right, or to both. So when I'm just clicking around the orange fields in this case, I got maybe this is not too interesting. I thought this would be nice, but as a player I could always just open up the clues first and then essentially just work my way through the clues. But no, wait. Unopened clues are points. So my incentive is to use as little clues as possible. So okay, so this might work. Okay, so I opened this one here where it says 2/4, and this one here says 2/1. So I'm not quite sure if this clue could be a vertical clue or a horizontal clue, but no, essentially, sorry, for what I want to do, it must be the other way around. It must be 1/2. 1/2, because now here, okay, this 2 refers to this tile, and this 2 refers to either that one or that one. So the chances are quite good. They are 1 in 3 that this 2 actually refers to this tile here. So I would open this tile next and get a plus or a -2. In this case, it would be a +2. And but as I've said before, it opens or it closes always, it locks always the opposite field of the clue. So let's continue our assumption there. So let's say I have opened this field here now and enjoyed this +2. Now the problem is since those 2 clues are open, which other resource fields are getting locked? Because did I arrive at this decision to open this one from this clue? Because then it would mean to have this one locked. Or did I arrive from this clue here? Then it would mean that I lock this one here. Or does this mean that the game locks both of them? Which would also be a little bit problematic. My God, this is really hard. This is really hard. But I think this is puzzle game design all about, where you try to explore all the possibilities or all the cerebral challenges that there are. So what I like about the current design is that it's always this checkerboard. It's clue, it's half a clue, and it's clues and resource fields. Designing a puzzle game is hard, says Lilo McCormick, and I agree. Maybe I should do pixel platformers, so only collisions and jumping and controls are hard. Maybe I'm just trying to dodge the real hard things that are, to me, as I just said, collisions, air control of players, and just general controls. No, I make a puzzle game where all you have to do is track where a mouse pointer is clicking, and the game should play itself, right? Yeah, so maybe I'm not locking, but then again, it needs to be locked to be more interesting. Oh my God, Okay, I'm at an impasse right now. Gelizam says maybe the UI makes you drag from a blue to an orange, thus allowing the player to pick which one gets locked. Genius! Genius! So, I mean, this is right now. I'm petrified. It's even thinking about making a tutorial level that teaches player how to play this game, and now it involves dragging as well. But yeah, this would of course make sense, because for example right now, I mean, but then again, since I know that this is a plus and I've locked the okay, this it makes a lot of sense. Thank you. This is a very good idea. So okay, back to the drawing board. So I drag this clue, or let's take a step back. So okay, I've opened this clue here, which says 2/4, and this clue here that says 1 somehow related to 2. So the chances is that there is a 2 and I want to open this one. I don't know yet whether it's a +2 or a -2, because if it's a -2, then it would be great that I can open this field here. Let me make it bigger. This field here, because this would actually mean that it's a +4. But if I drag this one here and it's a +2, whatever is here gets locked. If it's a +2, is okay that this is locked. If it's a -2, this would be bad because I want the +4 here, of course. So, and now, as Gelizam wonderfully said, if I drag this one here, this clue here, to open this one up, it locks this one, and here it says, for example, -2, but now I know, okay, there is a +4 hidden here. Okay, I'm not quite certain with the dragging. I mean, on PCs this always works, but maybe on consoles dragging would be a bit problematic. But yeah, I think this would be just a problem of how to tell the players, or to make it obvious that you want to drag something over it, that you want to drag the clue there. And this is a game feel question right now, but I really like this idea, how that the player can tell the game which clue they want as basis for where the other one gets locked. Thank you very much. Lido Cormick says designing a platform is even harder in my opinion. Yeah, it probably is. Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, here I got a finite set of tiles, so yeah, platform is harder. You got many more challenges to solve than just algorithms. And Siap guy, again, I'm sorry how to pronounce your nickname, says, yo, finally got the chance to catch a stream. Exams, dude, oh my god. For exams, I raise my glass in your honor, but there's no coffee anymore, so unicorn, let's all have something to drink. Thank you so much for dropping by, really great. I'm in the process right now of designing a puzzle game, and the design itself is very puzzling to me. Okay, so let's assume we go this with dragging. So next one here that I can, so I've opened this one up, and it's a, so by the way, what did I do? I just started this level. So I just started this level with only 2. Let's say just you get, or 3 dots, you get 3 dots when you start a level so that you can mess up at least once or twice or so. Okay, so I know that this is a -1. No, this is a -2, let's say. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. This is a -2. And wrong layer again. Let's copy this then and paste it here. There we go. Okay, good. So a -2, so I'm down to just one little blob here. But I know now without using any other clues that this must be a +4. So I open this, and of course it's a +4 resource field. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is good. So okay, which am I going to open next? As we know, unopened clues are points. Clues are... Blue is a clue. This is what we said. Good. Okay, so I'm just a little bit confused by my own color coding. So if I open now a blue thing, I know I'm always safe, but again, I'm losing points at the end of the level. Or so when I have a lot of blobbles here, I might choose even without a clue to open just one thing here. You know what? Let's do this. I'm feeling lucky. I just open a field, a resource field, without looking at any of the clues. This was the wrong color. So I open this, and it says -2. And but no, you know what? And by the way, Syap guys 123 says, I tried to make a puzzle game once and ended me going insane. Yeah, you can clearly see that I'm on that path right now, because as Gelisam had said, if I just drag and drop this tile over here, that the game knows which opposing tile it can block essentially, or lock. This works nice, but when I'm not using a clue or anything, then the game does not lock up any other part. So it might be just encouraged to just randomly click, and maybe you're lucky and make it through the level. But of course, this has nothing to do with with making a plan or deduction or anything. It's just being lucky. And so maybe I don't want to have this timed, the game, because if you just click some clues and you end up being lucky, you might have a super time over people who are doing playing the game as intended, but they spend too much. You know what? I'm not timing this. Maybe I'm just counting the time, but I'm not basing my scoring off of it. Okay, so yeah, let's continue. That this is a -2. So without looking at this tile here, I can assume that there must be something like 4 next to 2. And here must be again something that's maybe not related to this clue, and just to those clues here. Or maybe just, you know what, maybe if there is nothing, the clue looks like this. 2. That's not a 2, this is a 2. 2, and then this field is just blank, because there is nothing there, right? But we still don't know if it's a plus or a minus. This would be the clue underneath here. But now that I know that this is a -2, I choose to open this clue here. And I got a 50-50 chance, well actually a 1 in 3 chance, that this clue maybe says 3 and 2. And now that I know that this is a -2, then well, of course this must be a +3, and when I open this one, I have finished the level by filling up those blobbles. Then blobbles, I like this terminology. But again, this also could mean that this clue, instead of relating to this 2 here, instead of it being a vertical clue, it could also be a horizontal clue where it says 1 related to 4. So now that this relation here, this one that is either or, we know, okay, it can't be 1 over 4, because there is no 4, this is a 2, so it must be this kind of clue. So there must be a 1 and a 4 here, but still we don't know whether it's a plus or a minus. So maybe I want to be cautious, and I open up this clue here. Let's do this. Okay, I open up this clue, and this clue also relates to this one here, and says let's say 2/1. Okay, so I know that this must be a 1, but still don't know whether it's a plus or a minus. But then again, you know what? I will choose to open this one here, because if it's a minus, it's not too bad. But if this is a plus, then this would be very bad if I open this 4. So I open this, I drag now this here, which opens this one and locks this one. Or better still, because I want to keep my options open, maybe this is a plus 4, I use this clue, drag it here, which unlocks this one and locks whatever is here. Lock this here and open this one. And it is a 1. So far we know, but it is a plus 1. So now we know that this is a -4 and we're not going to open this, so I mark this as a minus myself, and whatever was here was probably a +2. So far we know. Again, the problem that I'm having is that as we said, unopened clues are points. I think this is so far crucial. But the problem is that what is when I don't want to drag a clue somewhere? When I just want to open a resource field just somewhere without having used a clue so far. Then how should the game treat this? Because otherwise I shouldn't be able to open something without a clue, because the game should know which opposing tile it should lock. So I just can click one thing here, open, and hope for the best, right? Like I did here in this prospective playthrough. So I always need to open up a clue first, and then I can decide, will I use another clue, or am I taking my chances and using that clue there? So that opening resource fields always happens by dragging the clue onto the resource field. This might make sense, but it also might make the game even more complicating than it already is. Lilo says, wait, you can open a resource without dragging a clue. Exactly, then why would I drag one? Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I think this would be a good constraint, that unopened clues are points, but maybe you just need one clue to open something and test your luck, so it's still a bit luck based. The only thing, I mean, so far I really actually I didn't think that I would arrive at some kind of game concept right now, but here we are. It looks like I have. The only thing from my 4 core tenets that I have, I mean, square tile grid, yes. Numbers, bet your ass. Endless play, probably. You could play this over and over and over. But cleaning up is fun. Are you cleaning up? Is this still fun, even though it's not really cleaning up something, as with Minesweeper, for example? But yeah, again, I like so far what I have. So just to make sure, I call those here clues, just so for myself that I know what I called them. And those are resources. But I made the clues now blue and the resources, oh god. Yeah, then the other way around. Yeah, I really need to color code things. Many of you probably know that color coding is probably the only way for especially if you're a visual person, it's the only way to make sure that you still know what the hell is going on with your nodes or what something refers to. Foreground color, yes. Okay, so those are the clues. Those are the resources. Then you lock something, and when something gets locked, the game also reveals, I don't want to save this right now, the game also reveals whether it was a plus or a minus. Okay, so it's always, if in this checkerboard fashion, this makes sense, I would assume. So okay, let's continue our potential play. And now we can only click open the clues, right? This clue is still closed because we know what will probably be there. So since I know this is a +1, I wouldn't bother opening this one, because the chances are that this is related to this one and it's a minus. So this could either be a 4 next to 2 or a 1 over something, but the something is a minus because this one here is a plus. My god, I'm not very... I mean, on one hand, I'm very much looking forward to writing a level creator or create an algorithm to create boards for this. At the same time, I'm very afraid of it, how long this might take, so that each resource field is accounted for by at least one clue, provided it still stays in this checkerboard fashion. But yeah, I'm so lucky to have this on video that I can retrace my own thinking later on. Gelisam says, cleaning up. What if all the orange tiles need to be opened or locked? Then you also need to strategize your locking actions. Okay, so interesting. So for example, with this one, I know that it's a -4, so I could choose to lock it myself somehow. So maybe, and if something is locked correctly with a minus, essentially just flagged, I say, yeah, this is, or I stick a flag in there that has a minus sign on it. Yeah, this doesn't look good. And I say this is, I'm pretty sure that this is a minus, and because this is a plus, this is a 2. You know what? I just realized that if I know that this is a plus, then this must be a minus, and this must be a plus again. So this is a minus, and now that there is a plus, that this must be a minus, and this must be a minus. Does this, because it's checkerboard, right? So that it always alternates between plus and minus. Is this suddenly too easy? Frank says, I haven't followed most of the design things to do, but one thing I'm not sure about is the scoring. When playing a puzzle game, I tend not to care about score points. So the unopened clues points thing would be fairly meaningless for me. This is a good point. Because after all, playing puzzle games is, like I said, to me is about cleaning up the level. Cleaning up is fun. So if you don't care about how many clues you open, and you want to open as many clues as possible, because, or as many fields as possible, because you want to have this feeling of cleaning up things, right? Where only the dirt remains, or it's like chiseling off a block of marble in the end to unveil everything that does not look like a lion, essentially. So yeah, this is a good point. Frankly, I haven't given this any thought that it might not be fun to... I mean, puzzle games that are scored, the score is never the fun of a puzzle game, right? The fun is solving the puzzle, is cleaning the board. So yeah, this might be a step back to the drawing board. Maybe I can salvage this still somehow. But or is this already getting too convoluted as a puzzle game right now? I'm not quite sure. Let's take a step back, where it's not certain whether something is a clue, or I'm on this layer, where you can tell whether something is a clue or is not. I mean, in terms of level creation, What I could think of is that the levels don't get created and then you uncover them. But essentially it's like I've been doing it right now. When you uncover something, it gets created on the fly. So when I uncover this one here, for example, let's do this. No. When I open up this one, the game looks at the surrounding tiles and says, okay, this is a 2 next to 4. Okay, so I can disregard this one. This is also a horizontal clue. I can disregard this. This is a vertical clue. This also has nothing to do with this field here. So the only thing that maybe this makes things even worse. This would probably make things even worse and a lot of fringe cases, and yeah, never mind. Gellisheim says it still works without the point. Solving the puzzle means cleaning up the whole board without running out of resources. And Remco++ is here. Remco, thank you so much for dropping by. I'm trying to come up with a tile-based puzzle game, and you can see here it already looks like a mess. Okay, so Gellisheim says the goal is to open the entire board. Wonderful, my mom is calling. I will have to call her back later. So the goal would be to clean up the entire board then. But would it still be fun when certain tiles are locked? Maybe you want to lock only the minus tiles. And when you lock all the minus tiles, it would make a little image. And Zealous Wombat is here. Reminds me a bit of the board game Hanabi. There you are only able to uncover a certain number of clues. They call it give information. If you are out of clues, you must take a gamble. You can regain the ability to give information by solving stuff. Hanabi. I think I've heard this. Before. Good point. Thank you. Hanabi. The game of the year 2013. It's a cooperative card game for 2 to 5 players. I'm here. You know what? Let's switch to English. My God, from Japanese for fireworks. Give information, discard a card, and play a card. The player points out the cards, either a given number or give a suit in the hand of another. This card is your only red card. These 2 cards are your only 3s. The information given. Okay, I probably have to look up the rules then, but this is interesting that, like you said, you either uncover information which is safe or you take a gamble. Right. I'm still set on to this cleaning up is fun. Ideally, you want to clean up the entire board, but when certain things here are locked, they aren't cleaned up. But hey, what if the game doesn't lock it, but it just pops away and leaves an empty tile back with just the impression of a plus sign or a minus sign. So whatever was there is gone. Maybe this could look much better. Again, it's just a visual thing. But yeah, if it's white and let's pick a different color, because like I said, we're all about polishing, and it just says yeah, this is now an empty tile and there had been a plus there. Maybe something. I mean, at this point it's very cerebral. I'm thinking about now maybe the entire field. I mean, right now the entire field is just your usual like checkerboard playing field. But what if, let me just copy it over and make a new layer, another new layer. And by the way, what is on this layer here? There is nothing. This is an empty layer. Beautiful. What if I copy this entire board here and say that certain fields are occupied by, let's say, God, this should be a tree in a pot. Look at this. This is how I planted, yeah, also. How I painted a tree in a pot. This is really bad. But you know what, let's make a little potted flower there. So some things I painted into, not on a separate layer. Oh, what am I doing? My point is you can't use all the tiles, because sometimes there are just some tiles occupied by scenery, for example. Because right now I'm thinking about giving the game a bit of, I mean, right now it's something that you could play on just some ruled paper. But if it's, let's say, you're seeing a Japanese garden from the top and everything is tiles, but some are bonsai trees. Oh my god, this is a bonsai tree, right? If anyone asks. Some fields are occupied by bonsai trees, and together they make this nice little Zen garden. Maybe there's a stone here. Yeah, this is thank you again, Zealous Wombat, for Hanabi, because since I read Japanese for fireworks, I'm thinking of Japanese garden and pleasant and everything orderly and so on. So yeah, that maybe some fields are locked, so you can't uncover everything essentially. But yeah, this is just as an aside. Jelly-Sam says, without points, unopened clues equals points can become spend a resource to open a clue. And Zealous Wombat says Zen. Yeah, such Zen. Maybe, you know what, maybe I take a break and get me some more coffee, and then I will stream for another hour or so. Or should I just keep going? But you know what I really want to try is Twitch keeps bugging me to say run a 60-second ad break, but probably I'm not going to, because they don't pay me enough. I'm not running ads for them. Right, so unopened clues equals points, but spend resources on a clue. But let's have a look at this one. So essentially, you would spend one of those blobbles to open up a clue. So whatever you open up, for example, it means one blobble is one clue you want to spend on. And when you run out of blobbles, you lose the level, maybe. Or you run out of blobbles and you have to take a gamble, and if it's a minus something, maybe this one. Once you run out of blobbles, you can open a random field of your choosing, so it's not that random. It's a field that you choose at random, and if it's a plus, then of course you get the plus and everything is good. But if it's a minus, you lose for good, right? So it's just this one last straw that you have, where the game says, okay, you've just lost everything, but I give you one last chance, so maybe you can turn this around. I think this could maybe be interesting. So. My god, I probably have to watch my own video right after this is done. Is this recording? Thank god it's recording. Just to get everything sorted out in order. But I mean, this is very compelling. Thank you so much for being with me together on this journey of making a incredibly cerebral little puzzle game there. Right. Okay, so I want to sum things. I need to sum things up now, the rules a little bit at this stage right now. So you start out with a grid of a given size. You know what? Maybe the first grid, the tutorial grid, is just a 2x2, and then it gets bigger, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, this 6x6 looks like it is a good balance. Maybe we can go bigger or smaller, but yeah, I think for now at least 6x6 is a good size. So we got this grid, and it's checkered with blue and orange fields. The blue fields are clues, and the orange fields are resource fields of either that either give you resources or cost you resources. And you start with a given number of blobbles of resources that you already have. I'm not quite sure, again, if to finish a level you have to fill them all up, or to finish a level you have to uncover the board. I would say finish a level is uncovering the entire board, and it depends how many blobbles you have left. Maybe you can carry them over to the next level. I think this would make sense. Right, so the entire board is checkered with plus and minus. I'll just duplicate this again. With fields that are either my god, I'm grasping for words while I'm doing something else. It's really hard for me. So are either clues or they are resource fields, but you don't know which is a positive resource that grants you stuff or a negative resource that doesn't grant you, that costs you essentially things. Right, so the first tile you open has always to be a clue, so only the blue ones you can open. Does this make sense that you can only open on a clue? I think it makes sense. So the first clue essentially is free, because otherwise, I mean, you have to open a clue. This is not a decision as a player that you make, because the rules say you open with a clue and it doesn't cost you one of your little blobbles. At least I'm posing this right now. So we start with 3 blobbles. Good. So I open up a clue of my choosing. Let's say I open up this one here. No, blue is a clue, sorry. Open up this one here, and the clue can be one of 3 things. They can either be one over the other, one is next to the other, or it's either horizontal or either vertical. Right, so let's get back here, and my clue here is, again, we got 1 is either a 2 or a 3. So I'm not quite sure if it's on top of or the bottom. Which one does this clue pertain to? So then I can just I have to, when I want to open one field, I can now choose, do I want to open this field here? Or, you know what, maybe I don't want to open a field here because I'm not quite sure if this is correct or wrong. Because, let's take this. This diagonal means it's either a horizontal clue or a vertical clue. But let's assume, actually it's a vertical clue, but I assume it's a horizontal clue. So I pull it over here, because it could be vertical or horizontal, right? So I pull it over here, which in turn opens this one up. And to my surprise, maybe it's a 3. It could be a plus, let's say it's a +3, but it has nothing to do with top or bottom. So the thing is now, it locks all the others, or it makes them vanish, right? Which is bad, because you want resources, right? So, but you don't know if this is a plus or a minus. Does this make sense? So only for this one here, you know that this might be a minus, but for this, yeah, essentially you would need other clues to find out what has been hidden under those things here, because you just gambled and locked just one thing. I hope this makes sense, because this is a very special case, because this clue could either be horizontal or vertical. And since the player's chosen that they thought it was a horizontal clue and dragged it over here, it locked both the vertical, because it was actually a vertical clue. Let's take the same example and say it was the correct clue, that I opened it up and it really, this either or actually was a horizontal clue. So it opens up and says -1, and it locks this one here and says, yeah, this was a plus. So those fields are not getting locked in that case. So I gambled and I was lucky, and I didn't have to to forego these 2 resources then. Okay, so I got -1, which sucks, but it's okay. So I open up another clue if I want to, or I take a gamble and open up any field without a clue. Could do this. Again, I'm not sure. And oh, Timbo Day is raiding with a party of 19. My god, thank you so much for the raid. Hello everyone, for those who are here and have utterly been dropped without their consent to this horrible stream here. Hi, I'm Phil, and I'm right now essentially in the process of trying to design a puzzle game that's tile based, and I'm trying to explain to myself and also to the viewers who are still there, trying to explain what the actual rules are. So thank you so much for dropping by, and I hope it's not too mind-boggling. But hey, you know what? I was in the process of giving a rundown for myself anyway what's happening, because the more I have to repeat the rules to myself, the bigger the chances that I remember them. Okay, so for those of you who are just raiding in, the game is as follows. You start with this grid, and it's a checkerboard grid. And this is the blues are clues. Let me just clean this up here. Oh my god, so many visitors and I haven't cleaned up. Oh my god. Yeah, this is not good what I'm doing right now, but yeah, this shouldn't be blue actually. This should be orange. Here we go. Good as new. Good as new. Okay, so you start out in a playfield like so. So blues are clue and orange are resource fields. And the goal of the game is to open up the entire board. The entire board without running out of your resources. You start here with 3 blobbles, as I call them. And the first thing that you can open up is a clue, is any clue on the board. And let's assume we open up this one here. And suddenly you are greeted with a number, and that says 2/3. And there are 3 types of clues. And here they are. Don't pay attention to what the hell is happening here. The clues is x over y, which means that it's vertical. X next to y, which means it's horizontal, or this diagonal, which means it's either or. You will see in a bit. So it means there's a 2 and there's a 3, but here comes the twist. One is a +2 or a plus, and the other is a minus. So when I open a field where it's a plus, then I get 2 more resources. If it's a minus, then I lose 3 resources, and when I've lost the resources, pretty much I get 1 more chance and then the level is gone. Right, so and the only way that I can find out which is either by opening another clue or opening the field itself. The problem is when I open the field, when I choose, for example, that where I say I'm pretty sure that this must be a +2, I just drag this over here, which unlocks this tile here. But the problem is, whatever is here, let's say this is, oh, we were lucky, it's a +2, it's open now, but the game locks or vanishes the other tiles. So if it has been a -2 and you think, yeah, but I now need the +3, yeah, fat chance you can't use this anymore. And the game also tells you that this is a minus field. So, right, we get a +2 here, which is good. Does this make sense to any of you, or how many of you have I already lost? I'm really sorry. Oh, Tim says we were just doing a bunch of various marketing tasks, updating website, new press kit page for game under development and more. So I'm utterly sorry that you were thrown into this completely left brain half stream, but thank you so much for sticking. Right, okay, so I'm here +2, and now I can open another clue. And opening a clue costs me 1 of my resources. So I say, yeah, I want to open, let's say, this clue here. And this clue says it's a 1 next to a 4. And yeah, if it's I can go and open this 4, but if it's a -4, then I pretty much lose all my resources. So, but if I open the 1 and it's a +1, or if it's a -1, then it's not that big of a deal. I just lose 1, but I really want this +4 then, but I can't get it because then it would be locked. So I want to make sure that I keep this option open, that maybe this is a +4. So I spent another resource, another blobble here, and let's try this one here and see what this does. And I'm not too lucky because this one says it's a 3 next to nothing, which means, yeah, this is a 3 of something, and nothing means, yeah, this is the edge of the board. So yeah, this didn't help us much, so I spent another clue, and right now we're getting a bit desperate to open this field here. And with this one we are luckier than before, and this is also a 4/1. Okay, so I know that this then must be a 1, and this also is a 1. Yeah, I need this upstroke here on that my ones look the same. But again, I don't want to open this one, so maybe I shouldn't have chosen to open this clue here. Instead, let's undo this. Right, redo. So instead I open maybe this clue here instead. So I open this clue, and what does this one say? It says 2 next to 3. Okay, still got 2 left, or 3. So maybe I can take a gamble here and say, yeah, let's forgo the 4. Whatever, if it's just a -1, at least I wasn't hit that bad. Or maybe I can, yeah. Right now, I don't know how I would play this actually, because at this point it's pretty much of a gamble. Or is it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But no, you know what? I spent another point there. I'm just inventing the game, so I don't have a strategy right now. So I just opened this clue, and this one says also here 1. Oh, this was the wrong color. This one here says also 1/3. So we are pretty sure that, yeah, of course, this must be a 3 here. And this is a 1. But now with this one here, I can say, yeah, I'm dragging this clue over to this one. And if it's a -1, yeah, probably then I've lost. You know what? Let's assume I still have here 2 resources. So I drag over this clue, and by dragging the clue, I tell the game which other it can lock. So it opens up the 1. Revealed, it is a -1, and this +3 here gets locked. So okay, this is a plus, we know that much, and this is a 1. I lose 1 here, but what I have gained is I still know that there is a 4, and now I know it's a +4, so I can easily open up the +4. So, okay, again, I'm having a problem here. I'm having the problem because, as I've shown you, you can only open up things, you can only open up resource fields when you drag something over it, so the other side gets locked, right? But I don't want to spend any resources on a clue. I already know what's in there. I want to open this field here. So maybe I should allow players to open resource field. No, it doesn't. Doesn't make sense. Or maybe it does. Maybe I can take this one here. I know this is only a horizontal clue, but I pull it down and then it locks the other fields around it. No, okay, I'm having a conceptual design problem here in this case. I mean, as you can see, if you've really been following this, first, congratulations, and the other thing is I'm a bit stumped by my own design right now, and this is why I'm just filling out those little white specks here, because I don't know how to fix this conceptual problem there. But so far, at least this is the idea of this game. should it ever become one. Yeah. Okay, so the problem is I want to get to this +4 that I know is hiding here, but I only got one blobble here left, so I need to open a resource or a clue. But if I open a clue, I've run out of resources and it would mean game over. Fernofe asks, why can't you open the +4? The thing is, I don't want to allow players to open just things without clues, because the clue, as you've seen, is always something that says, yeah, one or the other. You can't have both of them. And that the game knows which clue I'm choosing to unlock a certain tile, and in turn which other tile it can lock on the other side. It's always this drag and drop that I need to drag the clue over it. So right now I've done this here. I've dragged this over this one here, that it locked, of course, this one here, but now this made it clear for me that this is a +4. So far so good. But you know what, now I can, this clue, I still got this -1 here, so actually I can use this clue that I've already uncovered now, and I can pull it over here. This would work, and then of course it would lock this tile here, but I've already got the resources from this tile anyway. So okay, this could work. This could work. So I opened up this one, and now I got 1, 2, 3, 4 back. Okay, so this can work. Thank you, Fernofi, for helping me figure this out. This was nice. Cool. Maybe it should have locked the +4 when opening the -1. Says Lilo Cormick, and we opened. This is exactly what I opened this clue here below, so that I could use this clue to open up the -1 or the 1 without. My God, my mom is calling again. So maybe, you know what? Maybe I should take the call. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Let me just quickly switch to intermission. Hi, it's me, I'm back. I'm sorry, my mom just saw something on the TV about a guy doing steampunk, or as she called it, steel punk. And the website is skulls-gears, so skullsandgears.com, and she just told me that I should check it out because it looks really cool, and I thought I'd share with you what my mom just shared with me, and yes, it does look really cool. So if you're looking for some sort of steampunk inspiration here, this guy is doing real-life sculptures, so steelpunk, Skulls and Gears. I've seen this font before. Yeah, never mind. Okay, so catching up with my horrible little puzzle game that's getting more and more involved. Timbody said that would be a chain reaction of the whole board, I think. So, yeah, when you open up something, I want it always to be in reaction to the player. I mean, chain reactions can be fun. I think we all know Candy Crush Saga, when it's delicious, when something just goes as a chain reaction. But since in this game my plan at least is that everything should happen in response to the player, and the player should know why something is happening or why they do something, like I said here, where they choose this 1/3 to unlock this one here, so that they can then harvest this +4. Right, Lilo Cormick says probably better to lock the -1 as he did, as I was typing my message. Yeah. Oh dear, you're still here. Hello, Lady Misleaf. Thank you so much for dropping by. Yeah, there was a little change of plans because, as you've noticed, I started streaming much earlier today, and I had to change up plans. So probably next week I'm going to be The Artist is In, where I'll be doing small little art assets for any of your games that can be done within a stream. Right now I'm having a grand old time coming up with a puzzle game that's already getting quite involved. I had no idea I was streaming so early. I just saw the tweet, lol. Yeah, I tweeted out it like 1.5 days before, or so I thought, because my phone was updating and I wasn't sure whether the tweet went through or not, and I thought, yeah, usually it always gets through, and then I realized, yeah, I didn't tweeted, or the tweet didn't get out, and I tweeted 8 hours before streaming, so yeah, sorry. Next week, we will catch up next week. Okay, so I think if the game allows you to drag something and have a tile, where's my stylus, a tile locked that you've already opened, I think this should work. As we've had it before, this should work. Because we already harvested or the -1, and now we harvest the +4. This is good. So now we can elect, since we have 4 tiles ready, we can open up more clues if we want. For example, we don't want to open up this one here, because we already know, since this is locked in the plus, we can already flag this. I'm going to flag it now. This is a flag for minus, because we know that this is probably a minus. But we don't know, for example, what here is, because none of the clues surrounding it is in any way connected to it. So the chance is pretty good that here must be a clue under this one, whether or what is here. But we probably will never know unless we click it, whether this is a plus or a minus. So we can flag it as either or. Looks like a battery right now. Right. Cool. So probably opening or spending a resource on opening up this field here is of no use, because we won't have any more knowledge to win. Okay, I'm choosing now to... Yeah, the same thing happens here. Pretty much all the edge cases are pretty much not really telling us much whether there is a plus or a minus, right? Because we can't test our hypothesis. So apparently bigger playing fields, bigger tile sets would make more sense in the long run. Note to self. Right, then I open up this one here, and did I just... No, I use one resource here and open up this one. And it says 3 next to or over 2. So again, we're not quite sure if this is supposed to be horizontal or vertical. So I choose to open another clue. Pop. And maybe let's pick... Oh, this was black. Maybe let's pick this one here as our clue. And this one says 1 over 3. So the chance is that this might be a 3, because this 3 could be this 3 as well as this, but it also could be unrelated, and actually this could be, this is a 3 and this is a -2. But no, this can't be, because this 3 here refers to this tile here. So then it must also be a 3 here, which it cannot be. So we've deduced, like Sherlock Holmes, that instead of having it like this, I'm just, for clarity's sake, I'm just redrawing it, that it actually is, it's a 3 over 2. So we have here our 3. Again, we still don't know whether it's a -3 or a +3. Again, we have here a 1. This we also know, and we want to test if it's a +1 or a -1. So I spend another clue here and open up this one, and this one also has this weird notation of 1 over 5. We know now that this is a 5. I take this one here, and again I'm down on my last... Oh my god, I think I should start a player with maybe 5 of those things there, because all my game design is breaking apart now. But this is good. This is good when we are in the paper prototype stage. And why did I draw a rectangle? Oh my god. When we are still in the paper prototype stage and can find out those things the hard way, or at least not the hard way, where it's already in code. So I pull this here and open up this one. It's going to be a nightmare to make clear to players that they need to drag something to open it, maybe make a key symbol or something. So this one here is a -1, as it turns out, and it locks this +5 here by dragging this. So this was a plus. Okay, no problem, no problemo. This is the -1, but now I can open up this one, plop, and it locks. This one opens it up here, and we got 1, 2, 3. Oh, does this make sense? And okay, the chat. Gelisam says, since sides and corners are both problematic, how about wrapping around? Maybe this is a good idea. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to program this. Maybe in multiple passes that my algorithm goes over it, but probably something like this. Otherwise, it would require bigger boards, and at the edges you would always be relegated to guessing in the end, right? Lilo Cormick says, actually we know it's vertical because locked as a 3. I said it first. Yes, thank you so much for paying this much attention. You mean this 3 here with the diagonal where it could be either or, right? Thank you so much for paying attention and already grokking the rules of the game. This is cool. So apparently I'm not quite sure if this is already an elegant puzzle design, or if it's getting not as fun as it seems right now, but so far, just going theoretically through this thing, I'm having a bit of fun actually. So would this be something that you would enjoy playing? And Fernafire says, I mean, on the bottom edge it could be a horizontal clue still. You mean in the bottom edge, yeah, that it's always a horizontal clue, right? But so if it's a clue that goes something like 3 or 2, 3 like this, it essentially it would imply that it's always a horizontal clue, right? And if you have something that is maybe 3 in 4, you know that, or it's just 3, or then 3 in 5, which would mean that it's best if it wraps around and this 5 actually means this one. You know what I'm just thinking of in terms of implementation? That you could move the tile set around, and as soon as it moves out, I mean, it would wrap around also in the playing field, essentially, as you move it around. It's like UV coordinates from 1 to 0, and it's just moving the UVs around. Could be nice. Just, I mean, again, I'm always thinking, even at this stage, of how to communicate to players what is happening or what they should do. For example, when you start the game and you can only open up a clue, I would essentially do something like gray out all the orange fields, that it's clear that you can only click a blue field. Then when you just pick up something and you want to drag it, a horizontal clue is everything grays out but those 2 next to it, so that you know you can drag it to either. Or if it's one of those clues that are either or, also the top and the left part are. So essentially, when you drag something and you're still dragging it and haven't let go of it, it will already indicate that this one is going to be locked. Or in the case of this, that means either or, it would lock all the 4 neighbors, or all the 3 neighbors that aren't you hovering over. I hope this makes sense. Yeah, anyway. Leo Cormick says, I would play the game. Oh, this is nice. And Remco++ says, maybe rendered in a cylinder or a sphere, make it clear to the player. Yeah, a torus, right? If a game like Asteroids, where you can wrap around on all sides, is essentially a torus. Not a Taurus. I will type it in the chat what I mean. Taurus. Right. Cursipo says, hey Phil, new game idea today. Yes, apparently. Things are coming together. And Lady Misliff says, I'm late, so I don't fully understand the game, but if it's a numbers puzzle game, I would play it too. So this is what I'm set out. A numbers puzzle game where it's fun to clear the board. And I'm still not quite sure if it's fun to clear the board, but maybe I should code up a prototype this week or so that I can really play around with the rules and see if it's fun. And that and Lilo and I have similar tastes when it comes to puzzles. Taurus, yeah. Exactly. So the goal of the game would be that the entire board is open. The problem with that, just off the top of my head, is the level generator. So that to open up all the remaining fields, or is to, for example, here you always have to guess what is here. So you probably want to keep this as late as possible in the game, right? So maybe if I open up this clue and use up one of those things of my resources here, and it says 4 and then whatever is here, let's say 4, 2. When it wraps around, I can go to the 2 and hope it's a +2, then this would mean it's a -4. Yeah, I think this wrapping around makes a lot of sense, where it would make things much easier. Because again, what I was saying was maybe it's impossible at a certain stage that you get enough points that you can clear the board entirely without running out of lives. Again, I think I have to test this and see if this really becomes an issue, or if it's just an edge case, or if there's something that could happen fairly often. The other way to, again, I'm still here spitballing in how to finish a level. The other way to finish a level is not clear the entire board, but just fill up your resources. Oh, right click, beautiful. But I think clearing the entire board is much more satisfying than just filling up your blobbles on top. Frank says it's either a donut or a torus, possibly a cross between them, like a torut or a donus. I could go for some coffee with a donus or a torut. You'd need specific rules for the edges otherwise. Yeah, says Lady Misleaf, and I agree. And this is what I said an hour earlier about when it comes to the corners, how to treat the corners. Maybe it's always a plus that you always know you can replenish your resources at the edges or at the corners. But this would also be very weird because it's such an exception to the rules, and yeah, special rules for the edges. Yeah, I think it's with puzzle games, it's always the cleaner the rules are, the less rules you need, especially if you don't need any kind of special cases. I mean, this one is already all over the place. So it's always better, it's always more elegant to have as little rules as you can get away with it, and it's still being interesting and having providing players with nice choices for decisions they can make. If it's clear that there's only one path forward, and essentially you're just testing the player that they realized what the designer thought was the way forward, you got an adventure game, which you don't play for, most of the time you don't play it for the great puzzles that you have, but more for the experience, the characters, the story, and so on. The story. And with this one, yeah, I think wrapping around makes the least problems in terms of special rules or special cases, and even makes this kind of cul-de-sac, that's the right plural, right? Helps to mitigate those things. Again, I think I really have to test and implement this as a little prototype, so that I can really find out where the problems start to arise. I mean, right now with just doing this on virtual paper, I think I'm very happy that together we've already found a lot of questions, or answered a lot of questions or problems that arose from the set of rules so far really started cropping up already. So this is really great. I feel that I accomplished something with just this rule set. Lilo Cormick says wraparound seems a satisfactory solution. Satisfactory. I always think of the game now. Satisfactory solution. Yeah, I think wraparound, again, it's just telling the players how this wrapping around works essentially. But again, if it's possible that you can position the entire playfield how you please, and it really seamlessly wraps around, it makes a lot of sense. So, for example, if you are not used to this kind of wraparound logic because you haven't played Pac-Man, you can just take the entire board and move it around like this, and everything that's cut off at the sides would pop up on the other side. Essentially, you just move the UV coordinates and they would wrap around essentially. So I think this would make the most sense, yeah. In any case, looking forward to seeing this come to life. I need to go now. Yeah, thank you so much for dropping by, Little Cormic, and yeah, we'll probably try and make a prototype. See ya! Right. Okay, and as soon as I have a very basic set of rules and a basic prototype, I can do what's always best with games. I can start polishing it. No testing, just polishing. The game plays like crap, but it looks so good. This is my way of game design. No kidding aside. Again, my plan is maybe I can get to it this week, that I can whip up a quick prototype in GameMaker of the entire thing, and hopefully I can send it out to anyone who's interested in playtesting and giving me feedback on what might be annoying about this and so on and so forth. So but my god, yeah, really, I didn't think that I would arrive at something that could be fun like this that early. Not quite 100% sure with the mechanics so far, but you never are. This is something that really just testing will show, and whether the rules are a bit too complicated, especially to newcomers, because I think a tutorial level would be super important for this kind of game where it's so very abstract. I mean, it would be something if it has some root in what we already know, right, in the real world, or maybe it's a like the snowball game. You know without the game telling you that, yeah, a snowman starts with a big snowball and then a medium one and then a small one on top, and you can't have the small one on the bottom and then have the big one and then the middle one. This pretty much everyone who's ever experienced some sort of snow or even have seen a snowman knows this, right? But with this one here, that you need to drag a clue, but then it locks the other side on the back side. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe I hope that I can come up with some sort of real world explanation or equivalent where this makes sense. One thing that just comes to mind is, I mean, it's very stupid and it's probably not the one I'll be going with, but maybe if the clue is some sort of a gun, right? It's a big mounted gun, right? And it shoots in one direction, but on the backside everything is covered in smoke and you can't go there anymore because it backfires essentially. It's got this huge recoil, so this would, right, I hope you know what I mean. So this would make sense why when you do something in one direction it literally backfires and you can't do something on the other. So it's more intuitive. This is what I'm getting at. And I think especially with this kind of puzzle game, this might be the biggest problem, or that to spend your resources on clues, or you can't open up a field without dragging a clue on top of it. So yeah, Lady Misty Leaf says portal gun. You have the colors right. Now you're thinking with portals. Yeah, portals. Yeah, but I think portals themselves are a super weird concept. I think Valve did a great job telling or really educating players how the portal gun works. I've seen my playthrough of Portal that I've recorded, and the game is like 2.5 hours. When you have roughly a grasp to know what you're doing. But I think the game spends almost half, maybe that's an exaggeration, but a lot of time teaching you very gently how the portal gun works. And I think I probably need something for this game as well. Galisam says, what if the clue is a seesaw which flings the locked tile into the air when you press the other side? My god, you're so creative. I really like this. So you just push down on one side and the other side goes up, and it tumbles around and crashes and then it's gone. So it makes sense that, yeah, this makes, I feel this seesaw is much more fun than a big rail-mounted cannon. My god, computer games have militarized my brains. I can only think in terms of what gun shoots the biggest bullet. Yeah, so this locking mechanism, yeah, this seesaw, yeah, essentially it's just push one thing down and it affects something on the other side, opposite side of it. So a seesaw or some kind of lever. I mean, I'm tempted to say lever because it's leverage and not leverage, or is it leverage? My God, English. Right. And then, of course, as soon as I have some kind of relative pure design like this, then of course I can start coming up with ideas that dilute the design and put everything in jeopardy, like, hey, how about nice pickups? How about picking up diamonds you can trade for certain you can break down and then create certain resources that you can then use to have a different field where you can grow resources, but it takes time, and so on and so forth, and maybe have some hats as well there. It's leverage, says Frank. Thank you so much, Frank. So it's leverage. Thanks for nothing, Frank. And also, thanks for the book. Right. Okay, so I think I'm about to call it a day for today because I need to eat something. All my calorie intake today has been from the milk and this coffee. But I'm itching to start prototyping this. So, Lady Misleaf is late to the show. Frank got me this book for Christmas. It's the Retro Tea Breaks and Selected Interviews, Volume 1, with just old game designers. And it's a literal book. It's something that's made out of dead trees because we hate trees. And if the carbon doesn't get it, well, at least we can print letters on it, right? Yeah, this finally arrived and it took me almost 2 weeks to recall that I wanted to unpack it on stream. So finally get around because I remembered myself after Frank reminded me, essentially. So again, thank you for helping me with this weird design choices. There were a lot of good ideas. Gallis, I'm looking at you. Thank you so much for pointing me into the right direction, and also for everyone who just gave me feedback on this. Again, I think I'll keep working on this, and I really hope that it's not being too overwhelming when I start implementing the rule sets. Because I want to keep it as modular and open and easily changeable as possible, because we all know games are made good of just iterating and testing and having more and more people play it and then getting their feedback and seeing where things don't come together and so on and so forth. So, but I think this might be something. Ferrafel says, thanks for the stream. I would love to see how you develop the game in future streams and how you bring it into Unity/Game Maker. Yeah, maybe. I think maybe this could also be something that we tackle in one of the next streams then. That I really, again, maybe, you know what, maybe let's do this. That I go over more or less the design, the rule sets, and then have something that I can easily implement. Well, not easily implement, but I can get started with probably in Game Maker. But then again, probably Game Maker is good for prototyping. Then again, I would love to have this in Unity because I can make it look nice and shiny. But we all know then I get held up by making it look nice and shiny. No Unity, not for this, not now. We'll start in Game Maker. Right, let's do this Game Maker next week. And also, what I also look forward to is doing my little The Artist is in stream that was, like I said, scheduled for today. And then I blame Twitter for updating right when I was sending the tweet that I'll be doing this much earlier. But I still want to give back some to my wonderful patrons who keep supporting me for many years now. Thank you so much. You know, if it's you, I want to give back and to do some assets that they may need for their games. So I think this is what we'll do next week. Doing something nice for my patrons, some little assets, whatever they are, and then start implementing this catastrophe in numbers with Game Maker. How's that sound? Fernafel, yes, says thanks for the stream. Yeah, right, again. And Fernafel answers with a small x and a capital D, which I assume is the shorthand for extreme defenses. And yes, I'm very defensive about my little design here. So say nothing bad about it. I'm the only one who can say it sucks. To everyone else, it's the best game since The Witness. Okay, yeah. Now I'm completely losing it. Lady Misliff says, sounds good. And with that, again, I can only say thank you everyone for following this. It has been quite a ride. I've never designed a game live in front of people before, and it went much better than anticipated. I mean, look at this. We got numbers, we got colors, we got a tile grid, we got even blobbles, resources, we got everything. I mean, this looks to be like the next great mobile game to be buried under Clash of Clans. Yeah, we will see. I just keep toying around with this and we will see what comes of it. Maybe the next LDU should stream the brainstorming. Oh, no God. Fernafel says 2048 2.0. Yeah, probably 2077. And we can all come up with ideas in under an hour. Yes, you can. I can't. And voice chat, says Ingvar, and preemptively saying thanks for the stream before I go to watch the VOD. Thank you so much for being part of the stream, everyone. Again, I keep repeating myself, but I really mean it. And it's a Sunday, and it's also your Sunday and your spare time. And I really appreciate you taking the time to follow me ramble and color things in Photoshop over and over again. Yeah. With that being said, the playback stopped. No, my music playback stopped, and nobody complained, so this is good. Again, I thank you so much for dropping by. Again, next week we set this into action then. It's going to be a game development stream, and I hope I get also some time to work on my Ludum Dare post-mortem this week. I'm giddy about getting giddy about this entire thing here, so this is good. So 1 a.m. of Monday, says Ingvar. Oh dear, so you stayed up so long, but again, thank you so much for dropping by, and I hope I probably can do streams like every couple of weeks a little bit earlier than I usually do, because usually I would start my stream in 1 hour and 45 minutes from now when this stream is ending. So yeah, this was an early Sunday stream, so it's nice that so many of you still could make it despite the very short notice on my part. So again, thank you so much. I won't be saying it again because otherwise we'll be here tomorrow. Thank you so much for dropping by. Have a great week, stay safe, and see you around, and thanks for everything.